Hi, so this is video 2, reflection on in-class learning of my interpersonal skills learning journal. First thing I want to do is introduce the textbook again. As I mentioned before, I am using a lot of information from the Developing Management Skills textbook written by David Wetton and Kim Cameron. And the main thing I want to talk about in this particular video isn't as much to do with the textbook as what we studied in class, but some of the things we studied in class sort of comes from the textbook, so I just wanted to be sure that I cited it. So the class in which we studied this chapter was really quite interesting. We started by listing all of the things that come to mind when we think of a powerful man and a powerful woman. Interestingly enough, all the characteristics that we use to describe a powerful or influential man are mostly of an internal focus. Things like confidence, competence, authority, experience. While for a woman, we really focused on external qualities like clothing, makeup, facial expressions, etc. It struck me as odd, to be honest, given I didn't think I ever looked at myself that way. I usually focus on what I'm saying or working on graduate school, for example. I always thought I assessed my own worth and competence by what I have accomplished or what I aspire to do or what I've done. Truthfully, though, I guess deep down, a lot of my issues with confidence in situations where I'm trying to sell an idea has to do with my appearance. Something that I think a lot of women struggle with and is probably my most vulnerable source of personal power. Before I got pregnant, I was actively working on weight loss, getting in shape, treating my body properly, eating the right things. Although I didn't look a whole lot different, I certainly felt different. And I think this goes back a little bit to the chapter in the text where we discuss different ways of moderating the effects of stress through physiological resiliency. I think it was chapter 3. When I'm actively trying to improve myself, I have more confidence in my abilities, both at work and at home. And this is an area that can probably help me when I'm trying to influence others at work. So, keeping this in mind as sort of a way to boost my own confidence, I think it's important for me to think about that. We also discussed the different types of influence: retribution, reciprocity, and reason. As I mentioned in the first video, I am clearly an avid user of reason with little use for retribution or reciprocity. During our role-playing exercises, I was interested to sort of recognize how uncomfortable I am with trying to convince other people of ideas. And obviously we were in situations where we were sort of forced to use one type of influence, and even if it wasn't our main go-to sort of way to convince people. Even though it was all fake, I found it extremely difficult to convince my opponent that what I wanted them to do was the right thing. It was particularly difficult in this situation because it was a self-serving proposition. And it goes back to what I said earlier about how I think I have trouble sort of pushing forward ideas or issues that I can benefit from. I realized, though, in that class that I really need to work on being objective about an issue. So analyzing it for its value and worth, despite my personal profit or loss. So is this the best route? Is this the best idea? Irregardless of whether or not I benefit from it. I found it really difficult to recognize my weakness in this area. I seem to have trouble recognizing weaknesses in all areas. I'm an individual that likes to think of myself as objective and sort of results-driven. The truth is, though, I often let personal feelings creep into an issue at work, backing down when I feel like I'm not going to win an argument, even when my points are valid. I found it difficult to accurately assess how effective I am at influencing others. It's an extremely important skill that I need to work on. My learning objective, as I mentioned in the first video, is to improve my ability to communicate and sell ideas to coworkers and superiors. This material indicates a clear need to work on this skill. Obviously, I need to work on strategies that will help me convince others of ideas and issues that I'm selling, and I really hope that this exercise is going to help me do that. So in my next video, video 3, I'm going to talk about sort of the application I chose, the practice of skills, and a little bit about the outcome. Thanks.